And they're essentially saying that it's a money grab. And they're also going to countersue for millions of dollars, 5 million plus.
Is my impression of her real? Like, are they simpatico? Are they very similar?
I actually spent very little time with her. I think I only met her once.
All right, buckle up because we're about to dive into one of the biggest controversies shaking up daytime television right now. Behind the glitz and glam of The View, a storm is brewing, and at its center is none other than Sunny Hostin. This time, it's not just another heated debate at the table. We're talking lawsuits, scandals, and high-stakes boardroom drama that could cost Sunny big, both financially and reputationally. So, what's really happening behind the scenes? Let's break it all down.
Here's some news for you. The former First Lady has been noticeably absent on her husband's.
First things first, rumor has it that the execs over at The View have had enough of the chaos and controversy Sunny Hostin has been stirring up. And let's be real, she hasn't exactly been playing it safe lately. From her bold, unfiltered takes on high-profile figures to the lawsuits stacking up faster than anyone expected, it seems like the higher-ups are ready to take action. But here's where it gets even messier. Word on the street is they are not just looking to cut ties with Sunny. They want to make her the scapegoat for all the financial and legal troubles piling up at the show's doorstep. It's a move so ruthless, even the wildest courtroom dramas couldn't compete. But why single her out? Let's break it down.
I was surprised when she mentioned his sense of humor. But
at the center of this firestorm are the lawsuits, and we're not talking about a few minor complaints. These are massive, headline-grabbing cases with staggering sums of money on the line. The biggest one? Oh, just a little situation involving Melania Trump, who has reportedly hit The View with a defamation lawsuit so shocking it sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. Melania's claim: she alleges that comments made on the show, many of them coming straight from Sunny herself, crossed the line from opinion into outright defamation. And here's the jaw-dropper: the rumored payout figure is in the hundreds of millions. Yes, you heard that right. Let that sink in for a moment. So how did it come to this? Well, let's just say Sunny's sharp tongue and fearless commentary may have pushed the envelope a little too far this time.
I'm going to leave that alone and ask y'all the question: will the candidate's spouses getting involved like she just did? What? That's what it said.
And it doesn't stop there. The Melania Trump lawsuit is just the tip of the iceberg. The View is facing a cascade of legal battles, and Sunny Hostin is right at the center of the storm. One of the biggest cases: a lawsuit from Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman, who is reportedly suing over comments Sunny allegedly made regarding his legal battle with the show's producers. That case alone is turning into a spectacle, with accusations of defamation, misinformation, and everything in between. And the legal drama doesn't end there. Whispers are circulating that Hunter Biden's camp is also considering legal action over some on-air remarks. It's a whirlwind of lawsuits, scandals, and high-stakes legal battles. And Sunny is caught in the middle of it all.
We haven't seen her, and her description of Donald Trump doesn't track with the reality of what we've seen. And I can't relate to the marriage or if they're even in the same place at the same time. So I don't think that's...
If you thought this was bad enough, buckle up, because it gets even worse. According to insiders, The View's executives are reportedly scrambling to shield the show from these financial disasters, and their strategy? Shifting the blame and the financial burden squarely onto Sunny Hostin's shoulders. The rumored plan: a legal maneuver designed to transfer liability for some of these lawsuits directly to Sunny. That's right, the very network that propelled her to fame might now be setting her up to take the fall, footing the bill for the fallout. Talk about a betrayal of epic proportions. But why would they do this? Simple. The View is a business, and businesses protect themselves first. With the staggering sums at stake in these lawsuits, the network is likely desperate to minimize its own losses. And from their perspective, Sunny's outspoken persona and bold commentary make her the perfect scapegoat. After all, she's the one who made the remarks that triggered these legal firestorms, or at least, that's how they are spinning it. Fair or not, one thing is clear: Sunny is being painted as the problem child of the panel, and the executives seem ready to cut their losses. But let's talk about the hypocrisy here, because it's as thick as the tension in a live broadcast meltdown. Sunny Hostin has long been one of the most prominent voices on The View, celebrated for her sharp legal mind and fearless approach to tackling tough topics. Has she ruffled feathers? Absolutely. But that's also what made her such a compelling presence on the show. And now, the very traits that made her a star are being used against her. It's almost as if they were happy to ride the wave of her controversial takes when it boosted ratings, but now that the lawsuits are piling up, they are washing their hands of her. Convenient, isn't it? What's even more ironic? Many of Sunny's most infamous statements were made during debates that the show itself encouraged. The View isn't exactly known for shying away from controversy, it thrives on it. Fiery, unfiltered debates are what keep audiences tuning in. So, to suddenly act as if Sunny went rogue and caused all these problems single-handedly? That feels a little disingenuous. But that's the game, isn't it? When the stakes are this high, loyalty goes right out the window.
Okay, that was true.
He is
Can
mean.
let's show to him.
He's mean to the Haitians. He's mean to women. He's mean to immigrants.
Everybody.
He's mean to everybody.
He's not mean to Melania.
Let's circle back to the lawsuits for a moment because their sheer scale is staggering. Melania Trump's case alone could be enough to financially cripple anyone. But when you factor in the other lawsuits, the numbers become almost unimaginable. And here's the real kicker. Even if Sunny somehow manages to fight these cases and win, the legal fees alone could still devastate her. This isn't just about potential payouts. It's about the crushing cost of defending herself against some of the most powerful legal teams money can buy. And if the network does succeed in shifting liability onto her, she could be left to fend for herself completely. No support, no safety net. Just Sunny against the storm.
You were a liberal, self-made millionaire migrant model who speaks 5 languages. She'd have her name on a federal building right now.
This isn't just a legal battle, it's a reputational crisis. These lawsuits haven't only cast a shadow over Sunny Hostin, they've put The View itself under intense scrutiny. The show has always been polarizing, but this level of scandal is unprecedented. It raises bigger questions about the ethics of daytime television, the responsibility of media personalities, and the fine line between free speech and defamation. And let's not forget the broader implications for media accountability, because if Sunny takes the fall for all of this, what kind of precedent does that set? Will other networks start throwing their stars under the bus just to protect themselves? It's a slippery slope, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
Would have been a push for her to become the next president and amend the Constitution. So she could be. But they.
But let's not jump to conclusions just yet. For now, all eyes are on Sunny Hostin as she navigates this storm. Will she fight back against the network's alleged plan to pin the lawsuits on her? Can she clear her name and rebuild her reputation? Or is this the beginning of the end for one of The View's most outspoken voices? Only time will tell, but one thing's for certain, this story is far from over. As the drama continues to unfold, we'll be here to break down every scandalous twist. And with that, we turn the page to the next chapter of this saga, where Sunny's personal life comes under the microscope. Because if you thought the professional fallout was intense, just wait until you hear about the legal troubles surrounding her husband, and how they might be adding even more fuel to the fire.
I think that it's very helpful that he's handy, and when we travel, I'm not picking up any bags. He's the one that's hefting them overhead. He throws the garbage out. He does the heavy.
Now, let's dive into the next chapter of this swirling storm surrounding Sunny Hostin. If you thought the professional chaos was dramatic, just wait until we peel back the layers of her personal life. You might want to grab some popcorn for this one. Sunny's world isn't just being shaken by The View's legal troubles. Her home life is caught in the crossfire too, and the headlines just keep getting messier. Her husband, Emmanuel Hostin, is now facing legal troubles of his own. And let's just say, this isn't your average courtroom dispute. This is the kind of high-stakes drama you'd expect from a primetime legal thriller, except it's real life. So, what exactly is going on? And how could this spell even bigger trouble for Sunny? Let's unpack it.
Documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgery.
Now, the spotlight shifts to Emmanuel Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon and Sunny's longtime partner. On paper, Emmanuel, or Manny, as he's often called, has built an impressive career. He's been running a successful orthopedic and sports medicine practice in New York for years. Sounds like a picture-perfect success story, right? Not so fast. Behind the scenes, things have taken a sharp turn into scandal territory. Manny has been named as a defendant in a massive lawsuit filed under the Federal RICO Act. And this isn't just some minor legal dispute. This case is one of the largest of its kind ever filed in New York. The allegations? Fraud. And not just any fraud, accusations that could potentially land him in some seriously hot water.
Emanuel denied the allegations via a statement through his lawyer, telling Daily Mail that his client, quote, denies each and every allegation and that the lawsuit is a blanket, scattershot, meritless lawsuit.
Legal firestorm. The lawsuit, brought by American Transit, accuses Emmanuel Hostin, along with nearly 200 other individuals, of engaging in fraudulent activities tied to medical billing and illegal kickbacks. According to the claims, Emmanuel allegedly performed unnecessary medical procedures, specifically arthroscopic surgeries, and then billed the insurance company for these services. And if that wasn't enough, the lawsuit further alleges that he received kickbacks disguised as dividends or cash distributions. It's a tangled web of accusations that has left many, including Sunny's loyal fans, shaking their heads in disbelief. Could these claims be true? Or is this just another case of a high-profile figure getting caught in a legal firestorm?
This is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York. You guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia.
But here's where things get even more complicated. Sunny Hostin has built her career on her legal expertise. She's the one on The View who's always ready to break down a Supreme Court case or explain the intricacies of constitutional law. So naturally, people are starting to ask, how much did Sunny know about her husband's alleged activities? Was she completely in the dark? Or could she have played some role behind the scenes? These are the burning questions swirling right now, and they are casting an even darker shadow over Sunny's already embattled reputation.
Scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange.
And let's not forget, this lawsuit isn't just a slap on the wrist. The stakes are enormous. The RICO Act, originally designed to combat organized crime, allows for treble damages. That means the plaintiffs can seek 3 times the actual damages. And in this case, the total damages could skyrocket to nearly $500 million. Yes, billion. It's a number so staggering, it's almost hard to wrap your head around. And while Emmanuel is just one of many defendants, his connection to Sunny has made him one of the most talked about figures in this unfolding drama. The media attention has been relentless. Tabloids and news outlets are dissecting every detail of the case, turning this into a full-blown spectacle.
Sunny Hostin on The View, Tom, basically implicating her husband in this type of a scheme.
But let's talk about the rumors, because when a story like this breaks, the rumor mill goes into overdrive. There's been speculation that Sunny was aware of her husband's alleged actions, and may have even benefited from them indirectly. Some sources claim that Sunny's lavish lifestyle, her stunning wardrobe, luxurious vacations, and beautiful home, was funded, at least in part, by Emmanuel's earnings from these questionable medical practices. Of course, none of this has been proven, but the whispers alone are enough to make people wonder. Is Sunny as squeaky clean as she appears on TV? Or is there more to the story?
You're married, Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to...
Adding fuel to the fire, Sunny has been fiercely defending her husband in public. In a series of statements, she's called the lawsuit frivolous and accused American Transit of targeting her family as part of a smear campaign. This company has a history of filing baseless claims, she said, doubling down on her belief that Emmanuel is being unfairly singled out. She even went so far as to accuse the insurance company of using her celebrity status to draw attention to the case. They plastered pictures of our family all over tabloid publications, she said, clearly furious. And she's not backing down. Sunny has vowed to fight back, hiring high-profile attorneys and even threatening to countersue for defamation. But here's the big question. Is this a genuine attempt to clear her husband's name? Or is it a calculated move to protect her own reputation?
Let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failure.
And let's not overlook the timing of all this. The lawsuit against Emmanuel comes at a moment when Sunny is already under immense pressure from the controversies surrounding The View. It's almost as if everything is happening at once, creating a perfect storm of professional and personal chaos. And while Sunny has always presented herself as strong and confident, it's hard not to wonder, how is she holding up under all this scrutiny? After all, it's one thing to deal with backlash at work, but when your home life is unraveling too, that's a whole different level of stress. And here's the real kicker. There are now whispers that Sunny's financial troubles could lead to even more dramatic consequences. With lawsuits potentially costing her hundreds of millions and Emmanuel's legal battles adding even more strain, some are saying that Sunny could be on the brink of bankruptcy. And if that happens, the fallout could be devastating. Imagine losing not just your career, but also your home, your assets, and your sense of stability. It's a nightmare scenario, and one that seems increasingly plausible as the lawsuits continue to pile up.
Not look well when your name ends up with 200 people in a RICO investigation. This is the biggest investigation since Giuliani shook the tree and a bunch of mobsters fell out, right? This is big stuff. And so, and thank you for bringing that video. It sure is ironic that she's up there. So
this brings us to the question of property. There have been rumors that Sunny's assets, including her home, could be seized if she's unable to pay the staggering sums being demanded in these lawsuits. And let's not forget, legal battles like these aren't just about money. They are also about reputation. Even if Sunny manages to hold on to her assets, the damage to her public image could be irreversible. She's already facing criticism from all sides, and these new developments are only adding to the perception that she's in over her head.
But if she didn't really know what was going on, right, which is what she's probably going to say later, oh, I had no idea what my husband and his associates were doing. We'll wait and see what that is, but I think it's pretty freaking ironic.
Where does this leave Sunny and Emmanuel? At this point, it's hard to say. On one hand, they've both vowed to fight back against the allegations and clear their names. On the other hand, the sheer scale of the legal battles they are facing makes it clear that this won't be resolved anytime soon. And in the meantime, the court of public opinion is already rendering its verdict. Fans and critics alike are debating. Is Sunny a victim of circumstance or an active participant in her own downfall? It's a story with no easy answers, and one that's sure to keep people talking for months to come.
Totally different perspective on this. I don't really know what happened with this. The facts will come out. What I have a problem with is the core of who this woman is. Unlike you, I don't watch The View, bro. All I do is see clips.
It's just like twice a day.
Here's all I hear from her. America's violent, America's racist, America's bad.
As we wrap up this chapter of the saga, one thing is clear. Sunny Hostin's life is far from the polished, glamorous image she projects on TV. Behind the scenes, she's facing challenges that would test anyone's resilience. And while the outcome of these legal battles remains uncertain, one thing is for sure. This story is far from over. So stay tuned, because there's no telling what twists and turns await in the next installment of this real-life drama. What do you think? Is Sunny Hostin a victim of bad luck? Or is there more to her story than meets the eye? Share your thoughts. Let's keep the conversation going.